In an attempt to bring you the best in nasal snuff and Schmalzler reviews, I tried to pry this tap box open. I tried to pry it open because this gets clumpy and it wasn't coming out properly onto my boxcar, and as a result, I was putting more onto the tip of onto my crotch than up my nose. Hi everybody, I'm Paul, your Uncle Squinty, getting a little frustrated as I try to do this review. This is like take number 7, and I'm just with nicotine. This is the Bernard's Schmalzler Franzl Brasil Feinst, the 10-gram ugly tap box with a pretty graphic from Bernard's of Germany. Now, I've seen this by other reviewers have called this the perfect introductory Schmalzler, the beginner Schmalzler. No, it's not. It's not for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's coarse and oily as you would expect a Schmalzler to be, but either it's the just overall chemistry or maybe that this tin is very fresh, this tap box is very fresh. But it comes out as clumps, and that made it impossible for me to just tap it out onto my anatomical snuff box and sniff it. So I pried this box open, and in so doing, absolutely destroyed the tap box. I'm going to have to decant this now. I broke the slide right off of it. So now I'm stuck with 9 grams or so of the Schmalzler that I will need to put in some sort of box. Not a problem. I'm sure I've got something around here. Now, in the tap box, you smell the Brazil tobacco the very first thing, even before you get the sort of mapley, raisiny sort of scent to this. You smell that fermented tobacco. That's a very, very pleasant scent. Just in and of itself, it's great. It does smell sweet, and I took a fat pinch out of this, which I've been warming in my mitts here. I've got to try to break it up now onto my boxcar because it is pilling together. There's a lot of moisture here. Moisture is high in this. The grind is medium to coarse. This is going to be a challenging sniff for anybody, but I think a beginner would be bothered by it. I also think that if you're not ready for it, the back drip on this is fairly tough. And it burned me the first time I took it. The back drip was not real pleasant. Although in the front of the nose, it's not real drippy, and it's not as cloggy as some reviewers have said. It's not like putting corks up your nostrils. Not at all, at least. Well, maybe I've got big nostrils. I don't know. You know what they say, big nostrils. Anyway, here we go. Cheers. Marvelous. It does not burn. At least with my body chemistry, this does not burn me at all. Not at all. It enters easily, and it will reside nicely in my nose if I let it. Now, at this point, after trying to do this review 5 or 6 times, it's not back dripping as bad as it first did. I can try to work a little back drip, but I won't do it because it'll happen maybe. And when it does, if you're taking this for the first time, it might sting you a little bit, that back drip. This is definitely the same aroma profile, but much less intense than the Doppelt Fermentier, which I also really, really love. But this is a little lighter, and as a result, you can smell that Brazil tobacco, that fermented tobacco. And it's really, really pleasant. Now, nicotine on this is a good deal higher than many of the other Bernard Schmalzlers that I have tried. I think on the scale where 1 is nothing and 10 is way too much, I've rated most of these Bernard's Schmalzlers between 3 and 4 on that scale, whereas this one is a 5 to a 6. You will get nicotine from this one. In the nose, it smells a lot like a little bit of raisin and a whole lot of maple sugar with that tobacco. Now, I'm not saying maple syrup. It does not smell like the artificially flavored American pancake syrups that you might be used to. This is a much more natural maple sugar scent. And it's not just raisins as far as the fruit in there. I'm also getting a little bit of fig. And it's very, very nice. Now, that fig scent may actually come from the Brazil tobacco itself. On the Squiddy scale, where 1 is disgusting and 5 is wunderbar, this is a 3.5 to a 4. And I only say that because, at least in this case, it's a little bit hard to sniff, and for the novice, and depending on your body chemistry, the backdrip could hurt you a little bit, sting you a little bit. But otherwise, it's a perfectly wonderful Schmalzler, and I, as a more experienced Schmalzler connoisseur, for me, this is more like a 4.5. It's very, very good. It's not going to be an all-day snuff for me. It won't be for you, I guarantee it. But yeah, I'll be charitable. We'll give this a 4 out of 5. Nicotine is higher, so be careful. I'm already kind of with the nicotine after trying to do this review on 5 previous attempts. But it's good. It's very satisfying, and I like this in general. For a starter Schmalzler, I would really recommend, if you can tolerate a little bit of menthol, that you go with something like the Zweifacher, which is a halb Schmalzler. It's half just regular snuff along with the Schmalzler, and that makes it a lot easier to get up into your nose with a lot less backdrip. If you want something that's just way sweeter than this, you might want to try either the Magic Moments or the Postilion, both of which are richly flavored, fruity, super sweet Schmalzlers. For something that's a little bit more astringent, maybe the Amastrina or the Civet Extra, both of which are excellent. But as far as just their basic Schmalzlers go, this is a good one. Once again, I will hold this up and hope it doesn't spill all over Hellengone, because the box is now broken. This is the Bernard Franzl Brussels Feinst Snuff. I purchased this at Mr. Snuff for $4.08 for a 10-gram tap box plus shipping. Now you know the rest of the story. From the dank basement with a nose full, I am Paul, your Uncle Squiddy. Thanks for watching. I've got snuff all over me. Yeah!